Joe,
We bombed
we bombed
already.
so soon.
Episode 2.
We were
Episode
two in. Two.
episode 1.5. Bombed.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ultimate Effort Show with Alex.
And Joe. Good to see everybody again.
Likewise, good to see everyone for our special midweek update.
Oh, yeah.
And tonight, Joe, I have sort of a special topic.
Ooh.
First of all, let me thank everybody who has left such great comments. Let me thank everybody who has subscribed to our channel. All the folks who've given us feedback elsewhere on Discord or the forums, or who've sent private messages or emails. Thank you so much for your support. We love seeing those views tick up. We love seeing the subscribers, even though it's not about that. But man, we're just super grateful for the outpouring of support.
Big time.
We know your time is valuable. So the fact that you would choose to spend it with us, we couldn't be more grateful. So thank you very much. That being said, we did get one comment. Actually, it's sort of a two-parter across multi-platforms that I did want to address. I didn't want to just let go. And Joe, to be transparent, I didn't want to react. I really wanted to respond to this because it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit.
Right, just a little stab.
Tiny bit. And
Stab.
I knew that that we might get some people who dislike what this was about, and that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. I totally respect everybody's opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But these were the comments that we got. So first of all, on YouTube, we got a comment that said, and I want to read this, make sure I get it right. I thought this show was going to be about ICRPG, not that other bad game. Ooh. Oof.
No game is inherently bad.
Yeah,
we just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
And then the other one was, hey, this show was on the right track. Whatever reason, they took the wrong track talking about D&D. I thought the show was about ICRPG, not D&D. Why bomb so early? I gotta say, that was in response to talking with Kelsey.
Yeah. Oof.
That was a little hard to swallow. But if you think that's bombing, just wait. You've seen nothing yet, my friend. Nothing.
We haven't even begun to explode yet.
Yeah, I've got at least 10 more levels in me, Joe. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah. I'm like the final scene of Blown Away. When Liam Neeson, not Liam Neeson, Jeff Bridges, when he's running, Forrest Whitaker's coming right with him, the whole boat's going in sequence because they got that rad freaking Rube Goldberg machine explosive setup that Tommy Lee Jones gave us. Oh yeah, I'm going all the way, baby.
Oh my gosh, Jonas Rube Goldberg machine. Holy smokes. Let me just say, so I want to talk about several things in kind of response to that. And again, I will say, I hope maybe that was sort of tongue in cheek, maybe in terms of the tone, I'm not getting the humor behind it. Man, these guys you're off course already, guys. I hope that's the tone. If not, though, I didn't want to let that go because, as you know, we're super fond of Kelsey, and I don't want to hurt her feelings, and I certainly don't want guests who come on our show to get the wrong impression or to feel bad. Yeah. So I do want to address that, and there's a lot to unpack. So, Joe, I have 4 bullets.
Ooh, all right.
4. And you know what the first one is, so I'm going to let you take that one.
Yeah.
Bullet number 1.
Yeah, D&D. It's kind of a general term these days. I mean, yeah, everybody knows about Dungeons and Dragons. That's totally a thing. But especially in the Shield Wall, all through the Discord, we're always talking about just playing D&D more better. It's like going down south and ordering a Coke. What kind of Coke you want? A Pepsi or an Orange Crush? D&D is just, it's a blanket. It's being used as a blanket term.
Yeah, that's it.
How we're using it, because it's kind of all encompassing. Oh, I'm playing D&D. Oh, what kind of D&D you playing? Riffs. It's all just
right.
it's just games, baby. It's just games.
That's it.
D&D is a broad. It's become a broad general term, and that's how we meant it.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
if you ask me what am I doing Thursday night, I'm going to tell somebody, hey, I'm playing D&D with my homies, right?
yeah.
But what am I actually playing? It's not 5e, it's not OSE, it's actually a brand new system
Yeah, it's not even ICRPG.
that Hank is working on that we can't talk about yet. That's what we're
Although
actually playing. But
might hear a little something about it coming up in a couple weeks.
you might. It's a midweek teaser again.
Oh, oh,
So yeah, so we're going to talk about when we get old Hankering on here about a brand new system, but
mm-hmm.
we're using that term generically. What are you playing Thursday night? We're playing D&D, whole different rule set, and I want to make it clear that as far as our show is concerned, D&D isn't the traditional 5e Wizards of the Coast or whatever version of Dungeons and Dragons you're playing. That's not the only thing that we're going to talk about. This is not.
there's a bunch of D&D on the table right behind me.
Yeah, this is not strictly an ICRPG show. I don't care what you play.
Um, we just as long as you're having fun at the table with your homies,
That's
like
it.
that's the goal.
That's it. And if you've been around Runehammer long enough, you know that we tend to throw that term around pretty interchangeably. We just want to quote, play D&D, mo better. We're talking about all games. We're talking about the hobby. We're talking about RPGs, whatever you like to enjoy. So if you saw that in the title last week, there's titles we've been having a little bit of fun because we're sort of new at this and we're
cheeky.
We're just having a good time, yeah. But that we're not literally meaning always Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, the product. Okay, but if you come from that, man, great. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, majority of people you're going to talk to, come from Dungeons and Dragons 5th editions, or 4th, or 3.5, or 2nd.
Yeah,
or first.
Well, look at all these origin stories, right? For our guests, like
Yeah.
This is what this is how a lot of people started in hobby. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Yep.
But let me just say, bullet point 2. Maybe we haven't been clear, Joe, about the goals of the channel, and that's on us.
Yep.
But I would just say, we really have two sort of main ones.
Mm-hmm.
One is we want to impart some player and DM wisdom.
Yep.
Joe and I have been playing for a long time. We're playing right now, I think our council group, I think we can say, with some really intelligent, experienced, just great players and lovers of the hobby. And I would like to think, somewhere along the way, Joe and I have gathered a few tools in our player and DM toolboxes.
That's behind the sheet and behind the screen, respectively.
Yep, which we're going to break out next week when we pick back up with Kelsey. And throughout this podcast, we want to talk about ways to play and DM and get more out of the game, impart some of these tools and some of this wisdom that we picked up. So hopefully that you can play D&D. You can
just
play
a little bit more better.
Your favorite system. You can DM your favorite system a little bit more better. So,
and play it.
Yep.
We're just
So that's
it's
primary
a big
goal
point for us.
Yeah. And then the other goal is we want to showcase cool folks from our community.
Yeah.
And I don't care what system you're playing or DMing, right? It could be Fate Accelerated. It could be, whatever you're playing right now, playing or DMing. Like, I want to talk to you, whatever your origin story is. Like, we want to talk to you. This is, to me, this is all the hobby. It's all RPG. Even though we're D&D or we're ICRPG fanatics, which we are.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, just a little fanatical.
You're the biggest fanatic of them all, Joe. But we want to talk to cool people in our community, regardless of what they're playing.
Yeah, or working on. Because, I mean, a lot of them, like Kelsey, have done work outside of ICRPG. And we would love and be honored to showcase those achievements, those accomplishments, and those accolades.
Absolutely.
From folks that are just chilling with us, people we talk to all the time. Whether, forum, Facebook group, Discord,
yes.
We want to share this stuff with all you guys.
With everybody.
Yeah.
And so that leads us to bullet number 3.
Yeah.
Which is that this episode was all about showcasing Kelsey. And
yep.
Hopefully if you've already watched that episode, I think you'll agree she's a pretty awesome lady. Like, she's pretty cool.
Powerhouse.
And I would just say, you're entitled to your opinion out there about D&D
Mhm.
or where we've taken the direction of the podcast. But I would just tell you here at the Ultimate Effort Podcast, Joe and me, we are big fans of Kelsey Dion.
Yeah.
We are extremely honored to have had her on this show. We couldn't be more excited that she took time out of her busy schedule to sit down with us. And so, well, and really to share her expertise and her
Yeah.
knowledge and wisdom about the hobby. So I hope,
So much knowledge and wisdom.
yeah,
Man.
I hope truthfully that that's been the takeaway for everybody.
Yep.
And that people will see that that's what we're trying to do is showcase cool people like Kelsey, and she's not going to be the only one.
Mhm.
Kelsey's in the council and all that, and Kelsey, if you actually watch the episode, which I'm not sure this person did, I think they just saw the title and kind of wigged out a little bit. But if you
Right.
take the time to watch the episode, you know that Kelsey has done a ton of writing and work for ICRPG. She's
Yes.
been a huge contributor to all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff that old Hankerin has been working on throughout the years. She's
Yeah.
been a frequent DM collaborator, but she also has her own line of products. And while yes, they've all been written primarily for a 5e crowd,
Yep.
we've also noted that man, you could run them. They're so well written that
Yeah.
point format. You can run them literally with almost any system.
Yep. Straight out of the book, throw it right into this bad boy, this ICRPG, and it'll run like butter.
Yeah, or just run it in 5e,
Yeah. We'll run it in 5e. Exactly.
Yeah,
Or Pathfinder, or, any D20 based system is going to handle it like a champion.
or heck, man, be crazy. Like figure out a way to run it in Savage Worlds. I don't care. Like her
Yeah.
writing is good. That's why
Yep.
we wanted to have her on.
Yep.
So if you think that we bombed because we did that, man, like, I'm so sorry that that's your takeaway. I would just say, man, please don't feel that way,
Right.
because she's really amazing and her products are outstanding. So
Yeah. 100%.
100%. That leads us to point number 4, Joe.
Ooh, yeah. 5e is not inherently bad. Like, the game has a lot of great points. There's a lot of people that get their legs learning this system, learning this hobby right out of 5e. I mean, hell, I play every other Sunday right at my local coffee shop, Big Nerd Coffee. Love you guys. But we play fifth edition. I believe it's Iron Kingdoms is what we're playing. It's kind of a steampunky bit, but it's fifth edition. Are there things I don't like about fifth edition? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course there are. I mean, that's a natural thing, but it is not an inherently bad system. And if 5e is what you're playing, if that's the game that's rocking it at your table, I love you guys for it. And
Mhm.
I'm sure it's amazing, because the best edition of D&D is the one you're sitting down with your buddies and rolling dice over and playing.
Yep, that's it. Well, and
That's it.
if you've read Hankerin's recent blog post, like if you're a member
Yep.
of the community, if you read Hankerin's blog post about it's not the Pringles,
Yep.
right? It's not the book,
Mhm.
necessarily. If you've had a bad experience, it's probably because of the people that you play with, or it's human beings that drive behavior, not books. Like books are inanimate objects, right? And the
Right.
book as it sits there is not inherently bad or evil. Okay. Are there some things that I don't like about 5e to be completely transparent? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the way it scales.
Mhm.
If I'm completely objective, I don't like that bloat, especially hit points. I also think it's a little bit overwritten as a book. Like it's over engineered, it's over authored.
Fluffy.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be cut down and streamlined, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. And the reason why I don't like those things is because I think it tends to lead to slower games. It leads to those 3-hour combats. It leads to rules lawyering, like when there's a ton to dissect. It leads to people pulling the books open at the table and breaking immersion. All those hit points you got to whittle away in the middle of combat. All that leads to sort of a slower experience. That's sort of not my jam. But hey, if that is your jam, rock on.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
rock on. I'm not here to tear down.
Mhm.
And I would say at its core, fifth edition as it exists is still roll a d20, add the applicable bonus, and beat a target number. That's the game. Everything
Yep.
else is really just your DM and human behavior. Because I'm going to tell you, 5e is not bad. I've run a ton of games in 5e, and players have had a blast. I would like to think Mr. Commenter, if you were to play in my 5e game, I'd like to think that you would have a great time. I've certainly been a player in some 5e games recently that have been outstanding. Joe's in one right now, they
Yeah,
mentioned on Sundays, and having a blast.
yeah,
So,
it's epic.
yeah, he's having
It's
an
a
epic
great
time.
time.
Yeah. So, D&D is not inherently bad. And, again, we're ICRPG fanatics, but we like all kinds of systems. I mean, just look at my shelf over there. ICRPG isn't the only thing there. I mean, I've got some Palladium over there. Joe, I know you do too.
Yep,
I've got,
they're
yep,
all back here behind the other things.
I've got WG Star Wars. I've got Dungeon Crawl Classics. I've got Tales from the Loop. I've got Rogue Trader back there. Like it's probably worth about $6,000 on eBay, but I have a copy.
Right?
I've got Savage Worlds. I've got a bunch of stuff back on that shelf
Mhm.
that I love and that I have played. So, guys,
Yeah. I mean,
like,
hell, when I moved, I got rid of like 130 something books. Like, guys, it's ridiculous how many books I got rid of. And they were all games I have played. They were all various different systems.
yeah,
I kept some of my faves and I kept some ones that I really liked and some kind of rare editions. But these are
hmm
these are the things. But I got rid of a ton. And that was just for moving. Like, I mean, I'll probably refill the collection. But I love all the games. Like
exactly.
the hobby, it's the people.
It's the
People is
people.
the hobby.
It's rolling dice. It's having a good time on a Friday or Saturday night or whatever your jam is. If you're crazy, like a Monday night game, like that's wild. Moldy Crew, I'm looking at you.
Whoop whoop.
If you're like a crazy person, but none of those systems are inherently bad. And whatever you're playing, we want to talk about it. Whatever you're DMing, we want to talk about it because you can pick up good stuff from all kinds of different systems.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Dungeon World,
Mhm.
to me it's got some merit. Like there's tons of stuff out there where you can have a blast.
Yeah.
And we're not going to limit our show to just ICRPG. It's our favorite. We're going to talk about a lot. We're definitely doing our build a character series, like with a bunch of cool content that's coming at you. But hear me, that's not going to be the only thing we talk about. That's not the only thing we want to talk about.
Yeah. We're going to talk about gaming.
Gaming, the
And
hobby.
and yeah, and to be honest, like pretty much every single tip that that we're going to throw out, things that we've learned in the decades that we've both been playing, these kind of work for all games. I mean, unless it's like a specific thing about a rule that comes from one game, these things that what we're sharing works for every game
Yep.
because those fundamental principles of running a game or playing in a game are still always going to be the same.
Yeah. Here's a great tip. I got Perilous Wilds on the shelf back there. That's where the Die of Fate comes in. You roll a d6. 1 to 3 is bad. 4, 5, 6 is good. We use that in every single game. We've used that in every single game literally for years. To determine like random outcomes. Well, hey, is there anything in this locker? I don't know. Roll a d6. 1 to 3 is no. 4, 5, 6 is yes.
Mhm.
That didn't even come from ICRPG, and yet I use it in every single ICRPG game I play. So
Yep.
none of this stuff is bad, folks.
Yeah.
It's all games. It's all books. They can't
It's
be
all
inherently
good.
evil. Whew, man, we have covered a lot. So, thank you for the comment. Again, you're entitled to your opinion, but respectfully,
Yep.
watch the episode before you draw a judgment from the title.
Right.
And lastly, I would say maybe if I have a fifth bullet here, it would just say, if you think we bombed, you ain't seen nothing yet. Joe and I are just getting started.
Yeah.
Just
getting started. I'm sure we'll like be tasting shoe at some point. Only because foot in the mouth, not from bootlicking or nothing. Not weird. This isn't a fetish show.
Joe, go away. No, I would just say, in the immortal words of LL Cool J, we're going to take this itty bitty world by storm, and we're just getting warm. So,
Yeah.
so watch out for a ton of more cool stuff, especially next week when we finish our two-parter, our second part with Kelsey Dion.
Yes.
And
And Kelsey is actually gonna. Oh, before we jump out, Kelsey's actually joined us. This long 2-hour talk we had. She actually joins us behind the sheet with the player side and behind the screen with the GM side. So definitely stay tuned to that. Ty, it's all about ICRPG. Love you, buddy.
Yep.
Love you, buddy. We'll catch you in the Discord, man.
Absolutely. So, guys, gals, non-binary pals, thanks again. So grateful for you. Joe, take us out.
All right. I guess you're gonna have to wait for this hero coin until Sunday. Sunday, I'm gonna have one for you. But for tonight, yeah, this baby's coming at you. But for tonight, we'll catch you guys Sunday, and we're looking forward to it.
See you, everyone.
Bye, guys.